Welcome, Flip Clock fans. If you watched our previous video, you will remember this Copal RP-160, which we named the Ugliest Flip Clock of 2025. Well, we couldn't just leave it like that, so we undertook the task of trying to restore this clock, making it a little more pleasing to the eye. The clock came to us in very rough shape, discolored by the sun, and with gouges caused by long-term storage with the cord wrapped around it. While I considered trying to fill the gouges and experimented on a different clock using acetone to see if you could smooth out the damage, that did not go so well. I decided to try a more direct approach. Throughout the process, I proceeded to whiten the clock using volume 40 cream developer. This is what is covering the clock now. This process took more time than typical because of the deep discoloration. What I decided to do with this clock was to basically physically remove the material that had been pushed up by the cord. While I could have started right away with sanding, I determined that first smoothing it down with a stiff, sharp scraper would have better results. The gouges looked horrible, but they only went about 1 millimeter deep, believe it or not. Here you see me carefully removing material. I'm using the cream developer as sort of a lubricant to avoid gouging the clock with the blade. If I hadn't been whitening, I would have probably used soap. It went very well, better than expected. Following this, but not shown, was the sanding and more whitening. I started with 180 grit sandpaper, then I used this automotive kit that has sandpaper with a grit as fine as 1000. I used plastics polish for the polishing. This was followed by much polishing, resanding, and more polishing. After many hours of work, the clock came out very, very nicely, I believe. If you study it, you would be able to see that it's not perfect, but I think you'll agree the results are surprising. Here is the before and after comparison. So there it is. Formerly the ugliest flip clock of 2025. Now just a nice example of a vintage Copal RP-160 flip clock. Well, thanks for taking the time.